launched 4 games, 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we're going to learn. We said we'd watch. I think at Showcase, I might have said, from our learning, we're going to do more.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Xbox Reforged. And there's something here that I've been wanting to talk about for a few days since the Indiana Jones announcement going to PS5 and some of the reaction there. And of course, we've been talking about Xbox exclusivity and their consoles and that type of thing for a while now with the direction things have been going. So I just kind of want to hit on some of that a little bit in this video. So let's talk a little bit about the Indiana Jones announcement. I want to go over the new Phil Spencer interview, kind of talking a little bit more about explaining this game going over there and that kind of thing and what this means for Xbox exclusives going forward and that type of thing, and kind of where I land with it and find out where you guys land, because I'm actually pretty neutral. I've been a gamer for 40 years this year pretty much, and it's interesting to see all the varied opinions when it comes to the direction Xbox is going. So I find it super interesting, and that's why I want to talk about it. So let's get into it. I want to start with Indiana Jones on PS5. So this announcement was just a few days ago, and I'll use this Verge article as reference, but Microsoft confirms Indiana Jones is coming to PS5 after its Xbox debut. So it's not day and date, but it is coming there. Microsoft and Bethesda are officially bringing Indiana Jones and the Great Circle to PS5 after it debuts first on Xbox. During Gamescom opening night live, Bethesda confirmed Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to Xbox and PC first on December 9th before launching on PS5 in spring of 2025. So it is going to be coming, 4, 5, 6 months would be in the spring zone there for us here for coming to PS5, which is a bit of a wait, but it's not as long as, say, somebody like Sony waits to bring their games to like PC or something like that. It's a fairly short wait when you consider all things there, but it is still coming over to PS5. Sources familiar with Bethesda's plans tell me the company has been targeting an April 2025 release for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on PS5, but this date could naturally shift depending on development schedules. Yeah, I wonder when they decided to work on that version. And from my understanding, like, weren't they already working on a PS5 version before, so that they just pick up from that? I'm really not sure. The Indiana Jones and the Great Circle release on PS5 is part of a new multi-platform approach for certain Xbox games, known internally as Project Latitude. Bethesda's new Doom: The Dark Ages game is also coming to PS5 in 2025, and Microsoft has already launched previous Xbox exclusive titles like Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded on PS5 as well. So that's pretty much it for what we've got on the Verge article. But I did find that pretty interesting. And so with Indiana Jones coming over, it's re-sparking that debate about the whole, where's Xbox going? Do they care about consoles or exclusives or this type of thing? And I'll get more and more kind of into what I feel about that, but I want to take a look at some sections from the Phil Spencer interview and kind of discuss a couple pieces, just little clips, things that he said in there. And I think that's kind of a telling interview when he's explaining kind of the direction of Xbox and like the reasoning for this game coming to PS5.
Going to the PlayStation announcement, obviously last spring, we launched 4 games, 2 of them on the Switch, 4 of them on PlayStation, and we said we're going to learn. We said we'd watch. I think at Showcase, I might have said, from our learning, we're going to do more.
Yeah, they're definitely going to do more. I think eventually, and I'll talk more about this, it's just going to be everything. I really do believe that's where we're headed, but we'll get more into that. But yeah, they've definitely been watching apparently some success, plenty of success. And you saw Sea of Thieves was top seller back in spring, May or something like that on PS5. I mean, I'm sure that the numbers have shown that this is the direction they have to go in order to meet certain bars that they have and expectations, which Phil's going to hit on in this interview that we'll hear later on as well.
Mm-hmm. What I see when I look is our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been.
Amazing.
So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going up for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. And we run a business.
We'll get back to the we run a business, but yeah, that's interesting about the whole console numbers thing. Look, I'm a pretty positive person when it comes to Xbox and anything really in gaming. I don't like the negativity, but I do know things in gaming in general flatlined a good bit. There's a lot of changes, layoffs, things like that going on, some sales flatlining. We all know the Xbox console series consoles haven't sold that great, and what are we in the 30 million range for there? So I don't know, of all time, I guess I'd really want to see some like more real like actual numbers and charts on what the player numbers are, over the last like 20 years for Xbox and like where things land there. But yeah, pretty interesting that they're pushing it. They're at their highest console platform gamers like ever and growing.
And we run a business. Like, it's definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery that we have to give back to the company, because we get a level of support from the company that's just amazing in what we're able to go do.
There's no doubt that the support Microsoft has given Xbox has been great since the faltering of the launch of the Xbox One and almost pretty much shutting down Xbox, and them really going a direction, getting the support to say, okay, we're going to push this. We're a business, yeah, and I think that means eventually all of these games go everywhere. Microsoft is, at its heart, a software company. That's where it got its start. Yes, it does plenty of hardware, but they are a software company, and games are software, and I really think they're going to be pushing for those sales and that income. And when you talk about the bar being high inside the company and what Xbox now needs to give back to Microsoft and that type of thing, it instantly makes me feel like, of course, those older days of the small team throwing together the original Xbox, and then the heydays of the 360 and just the shooter box and the amazing games and all these things. It just makes it feel more heading into, I don't know, the business side of Xbox or these expectations. It definitely has a different flavor or feel for me now, even though I still enjoy the brand than it used to have during my first 10, 15 years with the brand, with Xbox.
And I think it's just going to be a strategy that works for us. And the last thing I'll probably say is, I think as an industry right now, there's a lot of pressure on the industry. It's been growing for a long time, and now people are looking for ways to grow. And I think that us as fans, as players of games, we just have to anticipate there's going to be more change in how some of the traditional ways that games were built and distributed. That's going to change. That's going to change for all of us. But the end result has to be better games that more people can play. If we're not focused on that, I think we're focused on the wrong things.
But yeah, he's right there. We certainly are going to be changing how gaming happens into the future. We just don't know what that looks like yet. And is Xbox ahead of the curve with these things, even though it upsets some groups and not others, and some people don't care and that type of thing? Or, are they headed the wrong direction? This is going to be something that we really find out over time. I mean, remember when we were going from physical to digital, and even though we still have physical games, they have been getting phased out over years and years, and will continue to get to a point where we're pretty much only digital on that, and they won't want to distribute the physical games. And there's definitely big changes going on in the industry and in gaming, and it's been a lot of tough times in a lot of different areas, and there's a lot of shakeup happening, and it's just time will tell. But when it comes down to the exact exclusive situation and Xbox and the consoles and all of that, there's going to be different camps, and you guys are all going to have your own different opinions. I'm pretty neutral. As a long time gamer for 40 years, I'm in the middle. I've always had every console, PC, whatever. That's my passion. That's where I put my extra money and that kind of stuff. So I don't care about exclusives. I have all the stuff. I just play the games where they are, or where I enjoy playing them if they're third party and they're everywhere, which for me happens to be Xbox and PC a lot. So I don't care about that. I don't have a horse in the race. It doesn't matter to me if Xbox continues to make consoles or they don't make consoles. As long as the franchises, the games that I love, continue to improve and continue to get made and come out on cloud, other consoles, PC. I mean, PC would be the main place for me for that. I don't care. But there is a big group of people that would care if there wasn't an Xbox console anymore. Now, I don't think we have to worry about that yet. I do believe we're looking at another generation of Xbox consoles after this. And then after that, either maybe no console, or maybe Xbox just embraces PC more and they sell you a capable, box that looks like a console, but it's more of a PC, and you can run like anything from PC games to other launchers, and it's hard to tell. We'll see where all that goes and where Xbox is headed. Sometimes they're ahead of the curve on things, and sometimes that's good, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it doesn't pan out. So we'll definitely have to see. My issue isn't with the exclusive stuff, and I understand for some people that's a big deal. I get it. That's not really my issue. My issue this whole time has been messaging, and I'm a fan of Phil. I think he did a great job in the beginning of the turnaround, convincing Microsoft to continue with Xbox, at least from my understanding. and all of that. So I am a pretty big fan of Phil Spencer, and I think he's done a lot of great things. But this past year or two, I feel like there's been a lot of stumbles in communication. There feels a lot of pressure to become that business, giving back to Microsoft, and less of a ragtag team of console and game makers. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I kind of feel about that. And the communication's been all over the place, almost making me feel like, you know, the Bill Clinton, what is, you know?
No sex of any kind, in any manner, shape, or form with President Clinton was an utterly false statement. Is that correct?
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is. Yes.
So I just want them to have a clear message, you know. I prefer just from the beginning to say we're headed towards, you know, still making a box for those who want to buy it, but we're going to sell our software everywhere so everyone can play the games. We can make more money, make more games, make them better. They're getting more expensive. Just off the bat, be honest. Whoever doesn't want to be part of that, doesn't want to be part of that. Everyone else who's fine with it, we move forward. And there you go. But it feels like such a piecemealing of the messaging. And I think that's the more frustrating thing for me. I could care less about the games going everywhere, or if they continue to make Xbox, or if they change what Xbox is, or whatever the case. I'm going to play the games wherever they're at, and I'm going to enjoy them. But the messaging, in my opinion, is just really rough here. It's been pretty horrible, and it feels like they just want to keep piecemealing it out to people, the whole frog in the pot thing we talked about, and just not scare people off too fast. I don't like that, and I think it leaves a bitter taste after a while. Just get the message out there and let us know. This whole case-by-case basis thing, in my opinion, just kind of gets old. It gets old, or at least from the beginning announce multi-platform when you're announcing the games, if you are going to nitpick, and just know from the beginning so that gamers know. And I think that would help a little bit. It just clear messaging, at least we could respect that, because I am a big fan of Xbox. I am a fan of what Phil has done for the most part for the Xbox brand and keeping it going. But are they headed in the right direction? Possibly. I love cloud. I've used it for years. You know, I enjoy the consoles. I like playing on PC. I like playing on all of my stuff. Maybe they are. I feel like they are headed in the right direction for money making when it comes to putting their software everywhere else, and survival and keeping the brand going, which is what I want, because I don't want to lose my franchises like the Gears and Halo and Forza and a lot of the stuff that I enjoy, and many others. And of course, they have Call of Duty now and Activision and many games in there, and they own World of Warcraft. So it's becoming this whole big thing. So I want to survive. I don't want those things to get branched off, sold off, or closed down or whatever. So if they have to expand all the platforms to make the money, that's not a problem for me. But the messaging needs to be clear. I just feel like it's all over the place. But anyways, guys, I've gone on long enough in this video. I could talk about this kind of thing for a long time as a big fan of Xbox, and just trying to figure out where they're headed and what the community is thinking about this whole thing, and where it's going to really land over the next few years. All right, guys, thanks a lot for coming and check out the video. As always, we really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.